Okay, well, as I said yesterday, I was lying in bed wondering what I was going to do today. And I thought it's 12th night, so I'll do something about the number 12, which crops up all over the place. Okay. We all know about the 12 days of Christmas, which ended yesterday. One of the interesting facts was that the 8th day, which you have this maid milking, is also known as the Feast of the Circumcision. It throws me back to something I did last week. So if you don't feel like wishing anybody Happy New Year, you wish them Happy Feast of the Circumcision. But
okay. God.
So any hens that we're acquainted with?
Yeah. No Cape Buns. Yeah. Okay, then we get on to 12th night play. It's not actually about 12th night, of course, but it was written in either 1601 or 1602 as an entertainment to mark the end of the Christmas season. So it's absolutely jammed with famous quotes, but like if music be the food of love, and
you could be Malvolio, Bernard.
Yeah.
I'd like to be Feste, gender neutral sort of thing.
The most recent production of it had a woman as Malvolio, I think, with Tamsin Gregg. But there you go.
That's great.
Yeah, here we are with the 12 signs of the zodiac, which always fills me with something. Fact that there everybody, 1/4 of the world has all these qualities, and they're all positive, which is quite frightening, really, isn't it? Nobody's rude or bad-tempered or ignorant or lazy or aggressive or anything. Everybody's positive here, which is not quite how the world works, but there you go. Now the 12 signs there. Okay, this I like. 12 months of the year, all in the wrong order, of course. It's a kids thing. I think this is a wonderful learning thing for kids, actually. There's such a lot in it. In fact, seasons, spelling, nature, event, it's a great learning piece, I think. Simple as well, but there you go. If you look carefully, you'll see that everything's in the wrong place.
Well, is it Australian? Is it from the Southern Hemisphere? Because you've got snow in July.
Yeah, but the idea is to move it back into the right place.
Oh, I see. It's a slotting.
Yeah. The 12 stations of the moon. There are 12 in the northern hemisphere, 12 in the southern hemisphere, so that's how we get this. 12 relates back to the days of Middle Ages astrology, following the moon, etc. So that's where we get this sort of clock face idea. Okay, we have 12 disciples.
Oh yeah.
Can anyone name them?
What? Do you want all of them?
Yes, please.
Oh God. Peter, Philip, Simon, James, John.
The other James.
Judas, James the Less. I said Philip.
Well, okay, that'll do. There were actually 2 Judases.
Barnabas. Yes.
That's why we always refer to Judas Iscariot, because there's a Judas Thaddeus. But Judas Iscariot was replaced by Matthias, so there were still
Thaddeus.
Yeah,
and if you notice, the one at the back with the book doesn't have a halo, so that's presumably Judas.
Iscariot, yeah.
Oh, I thought they were all wearing hats. Oh dear.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and then we go on to the 12 tribes of Israel. All sons of Jacob, I believe, who were settled on different regions on either side of the River Jordan in the land of Canaan. So there you get the 12 original tribes. This other picture I had here of it, it's got 2 extra people on it. I don't understand that really. I think this is a board game possibly played by Jewish kids. I don't know. And this is a young Jewish having a bat mitzvah, which is the female equivalent of a female version of a bar mitzvah. In girls, Orthodox Jewish girls do it at 12. Boys, I think normally bar mitzvahs at 13, but there you go. So it's another 12. This one I don't know much about. They're called the Twelvers, and there are 12 imams in
Right.
it's in Shia Islam, so it's prevalent in Iran as opposed to the Sunnis in the rest of the Middle East. Okay, here we go. Why are there 12 members for a jury? Well, this dates back to 1189, apparently. Henry II made a decree that prior to this, if you were on trial for anything and you could produce 12 witnesses to give you good character, you were set free. But he decided that this wasn't exactly fair because all you had to do is round up 12 people and you could be freed for all kinds of terrible things. So it was decided that 12 people would be the ones who decided whether you were guilty or not. A foot, 12 inches, basically. I don't know whether, obviously feet vary in size, so not everybody's foot is a foot, but there you go, it's kind of a rough guide, basically. And it'll be a man's foot normally.
Why is it 12, Graham? What is it about 12 that is special? Not 10 or 11?
Well, this is what intrigued me. I think it relates to the moon. I think it's and it goes back to ancient times when it goes back further than Christianity and all the rest of it. It goes back to the Greeks and the Romans. There are 12 pitch classes in music. I wasn't prepared to talk too much about this because I don't know that much about it. But I thought if Bill was here, he could probably give us a full 40-minute lecture on it, but he's not. So. There are 12 hues in the color wheel. These are the kind of ranges of the full spectrum. So there are, we think of 6 in the rainbow, but in fact, here we have 12 graded colors. Oh yes, a troy pound or a troy ounce. There are 12 ounces in a pound. Don't ask me why, but so a pound of tomatoes obviously weighs more than a troy pound of silver or gold. But
I thought it was 16 ounces in a pound.
There are in an avoirdupois pound, but in a troy pound, it's 12 ounces. Yeah. That's how they measure precious metals. So, okay, this is interesting. Eggs. Why do we buy eggs in dozens? Well,
because it's neater.
Well, I suppose that I don't think it has any meaning now. Does it? I mean, you can buy eggs in tens now and stuff, but most dozens and half dozens, I think, still. And originally it was about so people didn't have to give change. So an egg was a penny, and a dozen eggs was a shilling. So that you either bought whatever coppers you had, or if you had a shilling, you bought 12.
Yeah, because in Europe they're in tens. If you go into a French supermarket, they're in tens because they're decimal.
But we were never. Nothing was ever metric in those days.
Yeah, in fact, I've heard a very strong argument that we should really be using 12 as the number, not 10, for the basis of our number counting, because it's much more adaptable.
10 is much easier. I cope with 10. I've got 10 fingers.
Well, it's what I mean.
How many times can you divide?
It's just simpler, but I mean, so many people struggled with it when we changed up, didn't they? Because
but you can divide so much more into 12, can't you?
Yeah.
You can divide 1, 2, 3, 4, but not 5.
Yeah.
I can vividly remember a Saturday job on the market in Bolton selling fruit and veg, where somebody would give you a £20 note or a £10 note, and you'd have to reckon up things that cost things like 6 and 8 and 2 and 11 and 3 and 4, and then work out the change all in your head because you couldn't work it down.
Yeah, but it wasn't a problem. That's the thing.
No, you did it
because
that's what you
we'd
did.
learned it from
But that's the,
Question,
sure.
why is 6 shillings and 8pence an important number?
Is it something to do with being a third of a pound or something?
Absolutely, yeah. There's 3 angels to a pound. It's an old coin going back to a time linked to France. Important.
I used to really like the half crown.
Yeah, me too.
I still got some upstairs actually.
And the old 3p.
It's
Oh,
nice
yeah.
to do.
Okay, and there we have 12 pennies.
That's real money with history and character.
And which make up 1 shilling. So there you go. The labours of Heracles or Hercules, depending on whether you want to be Greek or Roman, there were 12 of them. It involved a lot of capturing and slaying and all the rest of it. But and one of them was I like the Augean stables, which is one of the tasks was he had to clean out the Augean stables in a day. So there you go. The various monsters, Cerberus, 3-headed, a Hydra with, and the reason he had to do it was because Hera, the goddess Hera, had poisoned him into killing his wife. And so this was his atonement for killing his wife and his children. So these are the 12 things he had to do to be redeemed. Here we have the clock face. 12 again. Yeah, 12 twice a day. Which clock is this?
Looks like the town hall.
Indeed it is. Yes.
All right.
Well done.
One of the largest clock faces.
Yeah, why don't we have a time system based on this wonderful number 10?
because of the phases of the moon and the hours in a day and the sun.
Yes. Okay.
So
rest
we
my
have to
case.
be in alignment with that, don't we?
Yeah, even in metric countries, they follow the.
What is time?
Oh gosh.
Divisible by 12?
Anyway, we should have 12 pairs of ribs.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure what true ribs, false ribs, and floating ribs are, but this is a diagram of what should be underneath your vest. So it's quite interesting, really.
It's a bit
Well,
alarm.
floating ribs are not attached to the sternum. That's
No,
like,
they're just.
Right.
Yeah.
but I don't know what false ribs are.
That's what I mean. I get the.
Maybe
floating
they're
ribs.
mainly cartilage. Maybe there's more cartilage in them.
Well, they've got it's color coded, and whatever you
Yeah.
do, don't break one. Anyone who's broken one will know what it's like.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Bad enough bruising,
Terrible.
but breaking the machine.
Oh, breaking one is just awful.
Okay, King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Can you name any knights, please?
Lancelot,
Lancelot, yeah, of course.
Gawain.
Gawain, yeah.
Galahad.
Yeah.
Oh yes, the Galahad.
There are 12 of them. So there you go. There's a little sketch of that. Here's an interesting one: 12 steps for the alcoholic.
Oh, I never knew that either.
And it's to God as you see him. So it's what it says. It doesn't say it on here, but so maybe it doesn't mean, necessarily a formal religious God, but something that you believe in. I think probably.
If you see it 3 by 4, it just looks neat, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Oh, it just looks neat. That's one of the big
It's like
things.
our screen. The maximum number of people I can see on an iPad screen are 12.
Yeah. Well, I always like them to be an even number of people because it makes it look neater in Zoom.
Okay, well, let's move on quickly. 12, here's another, it's
Ooh.
4
Oh, I
by
like that.
core
Yeah.
socialist values in China. Democracy, equality, freedom, and some that perhaps I might struggle to get to terms with, but there they are. Those are the basic principles.
All right.
Okay, so these are the main gods of Greek origin. Okay, and then we have the Glorious 12. What's glorious about it? I never could tell.
No.
Legislation was brought out on 1831 that you couldn't shoot a red grouse until the 12th.
Yeah.
And then you were given only 121 days to go out and murder as much animal life as you felt necessary in the name of sport. So there you go. I always found it horrendous, but there you go. But here's the chaps out having a good day out. And fun.
Really, really good that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. Bring back 12.
You and Jacob Rees-Mogg, you mean?
Oh,
You'll-
yes.
You'll have to ask.
We pay our
AI.
servants in farthings.
Well, there you go.
Well done, Graham.
Yeah,
We always-
thank you.